So day five is done in court. Missed all of it live because my power was out from legit like whenever my video went up that was scheduled. But I think I recorded it at like 6:20 something. It was after I got out the gym and all that. So I mean my power's been out for like a, a good I didn't even count the hours, bro. I just been like, I mean, I played on the Switch. That bitch about to die now. I put it on the charger now because my power is back. I got everything back set up and running. Um, a lot of weird shit has went on today, but the storm was happening legit while I was recording that video, and then my power went out right after I uploaded it. So that was kind of tragic, and it's been out the whole time until now. But closing arguments would be later on today. But all the proceedings have ended. The CFOs all talked. One of them had like a write-in thing that they did and didn't really say much. But then they grilled CFO Tim Stewart on a lot of things. And they just talk financials the whole time. I kind of said that earlier in my video before. They just going to talk financials. If they leak anything, that'd be the best part of this because they're just going to talk numbers from an Xbox perspective, which aren't that good to begin with. So I mean, these are the recaps on like the play by play thing that The Verge had set up. They talked about Game Pass strategy things, which is how they choose to put games in. So they have like games that they want more exposure to. They have games that gonna keep people long term. And then they have like big impact games. And this is like tier one, two, and three. So big impact games are tier one games. And they're like Call of Duty would be a tier one game coming into Game Pass. Because the most people are gonna want to play that game and will play that game in Game Pass for an extended period of time. Then there's like exclusive game content that get people to subscribe to Game Pass, and then they might leave or they might stay based on how they experience the game and the ecosystem after the game is done. Which Starfield will probably fall into that category because Starfield is one of those games that like, hey, you want to play Starfield, rather you want to try it out or you know you're going to like it anyway because it's a Bethesda game and you fuck with Bethesda games. So you join Game Pass for $10 or $11 because the price is going up, and you try out Starfield and you play it, you enjoy it, and you're like, oh, Game Pass is pretty cool. And then you start playing more games, and it kind of gets you into the ecosystem. And then third games are like indie games and stuff like that. That they want to get exposure to different developers and stuff like that. So they buy games, they expose people to these new types of games, to different types of games, to live service games, kind of how Square Enix did with like Outriders and stuff like that. Like those deals. And I mean, the strategy tier thing makes sense in the light of that. From a business perspective, everybody thinks that, oh, you need to just put banger after banger in Game Pass. I mean, like that's not the case. You can put different shit in there, and it all works out in the same business practice thing, and it just keeps content flowing. It's pretty good. And then Xbox Mobile Store, they talk about that, but they trying to get an Xbox store. They've been trying to get a mobile store for a while, but you know the only two people working in mobile is Apple and Google, and they literally dominate the market, and they don't let anybody just build a fucking store on their platform. Microsoft's kind of trying to change that, and what do they need? They need content. That's why they've been trying to get King. That's why they've been trying to get Activision as a whole, because all those IPs, you can make many of mobile games. Like Call of Duty Mobile is going to be a big ass deal. Microsoft can make another one. They don't need the 10-cent Call of Duty Mobile. They can make another Call of Duty mobile game, put it on the Xbox store, and if it booms, if it's good, they draw people to the Xbox store through mobile, just like they can do through PC or through Xbox. Then they were talking about the financial write-ups that they did for if they did make games exclusive to Xbox. So that thing, the CMA tried to make it seem like that was a bad thing to do for a chief financial officer to plan to make or lose money. They made it seem like, oh, you're so bad for doing it. It's like, this is how businesses are ran. FTC, bro, what are you talking about? Not CMA, FTC. Yeah. So you're talking about like, if they made games exclusive, how much money would they lose compared how much would they make, and how would they offset that by boosting or losing something else to make more money? That is how budgeting works, bro. I don't understand how they tried to bring it into court as like a bad thing for a CFO to do. Like, no, because if they came with the idea that every Activision game is going to be exclusive, he has to have a plan to make fucking money after losing 15 billion a year from Sony's platform alone. You don't just go to the wind with that. You have to work on that shit. And yeah, they had a whole plan for it, and they had a whole little talk, contemplate like, hey, can we do this? Like we could, but it's gonna be real fucking hard to offset that with Microsoft working at a fucking deficit so bad. And then they talk about how much Game Pass would have to grow. They weren't supposed to put the numbers out there, but I mean they put it out there anyway. And that's the only slip up in this whole CFO's thing is they would need to grow Game Pass by 2 million subscribers every year. Call of Duty is exclusive to Xbox to make up for all the money they lose from Sony's platform. And that's like over time. So it doesn't say how many years they'd take to, I mean, to get 2 million subscribers every year until they start making the money back that they would have made off PlayStation every year anyway. But they said they would need 2 million subscribers just to start making enough money to not have the game on PlayStation. But it doesn't say how many years it's going to take for the revenue to be normal enough that they wouldn't need PlayStation at all. So that's one of those things that, like, I mean, you can see that and be like, oh, 2 million isn't that much when you take it from PlayStation, because Sony already said 1 million people on PlayStation right now only play Call of Duty. So that's 1 million that you already get to join. Xbox people that don't really fuck with Game Pass and they play Call of Duty, if it drops in Game Pass and they don't have to pay a whole 70 for it, they might just join. They could be another 500,000, 2 million people, maybe even 3 million people. But how many more people could you get every fucking year to subscribe to Game Pass for X amount of years before you start making enough money to not need Sony? That didn't get conveyed at all, because that's a hypothetical thing. And they're like, what if Sony's revenue start falling? And we're like, okay, I mean, if Sony's revenue starts to fall, then they just have to make up for it with either getting more people into Game Pass or making more stuff to make money. Like the questions about the finances was like the FTC didn't understand how budgeting worked for a little bit. I mean, just from what I was reading, it was kind of wild. Then they talk about the Switch. Nintendo didn't show up today. I don't think they got to show up today, but they were gonna show up, and then I forget what happened. I could have read it and just completely blanked on it because I saw like what it said. Then they talk about Xbox oil. I mean, he says the Xbox oil company, but the CFO was talking about why would he, as the chief financial officer, build a strategy around Xbox that doesn't proceed into the future. So he was saying it's like Xbox becoming an oil company when everybody's moving to electric. He's like, why the fuck would I do that? It doesn't make sense to the grand scheme of what we're trying to do here. And I'm like, I mean, that makes sense, because if the world is going electric, like they're trying to anyway, but infrastructure and stuff like that is not ready for everybody to have an electric car. Why would Xbox try to build an oil company in a climate like that? Like, yeah, you have an oil company. You're not going to invest all of your shit into it when electric is the future. You can see electric as being the future. So they start doing more things because they're not just going to sit on console gaming forever. They're not even winning in console gaming. Why would they just sit there forever? Sony can sit there forever. They don't have to branch out. Why? Because they're dominating console gaming. They're literally dominating console gaming. Why would they have to leave? Microsoft, on the other hand, has a small oil company. Yeah, you have minor share in this. So you need to go hit big somewhere else on the future of gaming. That's what they're doing all this for. And then they talk about Minecraft, because Minecraft is on every platform known to man. They gonna put that shit on fucking refrigerators. They're gonna put it on microwaves if they can. Easy bake ovens for kids. They're gonna put Minecraft anywhere they fucking can. But they talk about how the revenue from Minecraft is and how Microsoft receives that. So Mojang makes Minecraft for Microsoft, Xbox Studio. We all know that. But Xbox is the lowest ranking revenue stream for Minecraft. It goes Xbox, double Xbox is PlayStation, because PlayStation has double the install base of Xbox. That makes sense. But then it's fucking quadruple that on Nintendo. And I'm like, that's fucking crazy, bro. So four times the amount of people on fucking Nintendo makes revenue for Microsoft than Xbox does. Which does make sense because the Switch sells fucking four times as many as Xbox does. So I mean, all the numbers just make sense in reality of what we already know. So it wasn't anything too significant to the worldwide thing as it is. It just shows that Xbox is literally the lowest earner for even Xbox. It's not like Xbox could just make all this shit exclusive and they just gonna make all this money because people are gonna switch. No, no, that Minecraft literally shows that's not the fucking case. Because if Minecraft wasn't, it wasn't on Nintendo Switch. They put it on there. But since it wasn't, they were losing out on four times the money they would if they kept that shit on Xbox. How much more money would they have made? It's all speculation at that point for the FTC. But they see how much money Nintendo made Xbox or Microsoft in general, and they're like, why would they pass it up for Call of Duty to be exclusive? Would that change? Now I got them thinking like, damn, like if Xbox as the central thing for gaming for Microsoft was the only thing they were dependent on to make money, Microsoft wouldn't be making money. Especially with their own IP right now. So why would they do that to Activision's IP? Just to be like, oh, we have Call of Duty? That's dumb. That's what the CFO was trying to say this whole time. It would be fucking stupid for Microsoft to hold these games back because they need to make money on this. If you switch 70 billion in cash to 70 billion in assets, those assets can fluctuate up and down real fucking quick. That's how the stock market works. But Microsoft has been performing in a down market. They stock has been soaring. Sony, on the other hand, I mean, they've been acting rough, bro. They need to make some motherfucking money out here. But I mean, I don't really know what Jimmy T. Ryan is doing for his shareholders, but nigga, I need my money, Jimmy. Like, what the fuck you doing? But back to the case. There's one thing that did happen because they talk about Minecraft. The Canada fucking regulators came and they were like, we think this deal needs to be blocked because it's anti-competitive. And then then Microsoft came back and was like, hey Canada, you know you're too fucking late to try to block the deal. What the fuck was Canada doing the whole time the CMA and the FTC was working so hard on getting this deal blocked? Canada was sitting sidelined. Now that the court, this is the last day for court. The last day for court. And then Canada comes out and say, hey, we want to block this deal. Microsoft was like, you're too fucking late, buddy. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck are y'all on up there in Canada? It's so strange. It was so strange. That was a wild thing to do. That was a crazy turn of events in the court proceedings. But we're gonna have to see what happens. Court is done. Who knows how this case is going? I mean, FTC has been looking shiesty the whole fucking time. They learned a whole fucking lot. We learned a whole lot because the FTC kind of fucked around and dropped a whole lot of knowledge that shouldn't have been public. But I mean, I don't know. Court proceedings are crazy weird, bro. And then the CMA tried to pull some shit mid fucking day too. They tried to like push the fucking the review for their appeal case back to like October. And they're like, bitch, we're doing that shit next month, whether you like it or not. I think like their judge made that happen. They're like, nah, y'all not pushing that shit back. We're doing that shit right when they're ready. And y'all try to pull that mid fucking case. Like y'all need more time to build a case because Microsoft just shit on the fucking case that y'all had in court with the fucking FTC. Crazy. But that's it for this one. So let me know what y'all think down below. I mean, my opinion is my opinion. I don't know shit about court because I'm not a motherfucking registered judge. But everything Microsoft said is everything Microsoft's been saying and doing for the past how many years. So they haven't changed much. And they're still trying to grow in a business where they're fucking losing. I don't know how the FTC can see that and be like, oh, you're anti-competitive because you're trying to succeed when you failed for years. But it could be the case. They could just be like, hey, Sony needs to be on top because Sony needs to be on top. Which is true. Which is true. Because when they talk to, what the fuck is his name? When they talk to Satya, I don't know why the fuck I said it like that. I just couldn't remember his name. When they talk to Satya on the stand, they literally talk to him. He start talking business and they stop talking to him. Satya had one of the quickest fucking stand appearances in court. In this whole case, he had one of the quickest because they literally sat him down there. He started talking and they started being like, damn, hold on, this nigga This nigga's big brain. We're done. They just let him go. They like, okay, we don't need to talk to him no more because he was just hitting their ass with notions that they didn't even fucking think about, and it was crazy. I do want to go over Satya's thing. It was short, but not in this video. If y'all want to see Satya's thing, let me know down below. I know it's covered probably somewhere on YouTube. So I'll see y'all in the next video.